All right, I guess when Sam said I'll
welcome.
start in the group chat, he just meant the show and not I'll actually do the intro. So, hello everybody. Welcome into season 8, episode number 24 in your program, but of course, number 1 in your hearts. It's the Let's Go Devils podcast, brought to you by SM, who likes to say, and Crew Brew. And Crew Brew, where we make winning memories one beer at a time. And it's now officially on tap at the Old American Whiskey. We heard there might have been a mix-up. There might have been a whoops-a-daisy, and maybe some beer taps were off or something like that. But it's now officially up there, ready to go for you to drink up when you're at the next Devils game down there at the Rock. He has returned from his joyous venture down into the world of the mouse. There he is, to my left, but I think it's my right on the, it is. Yeah, but it's my right. Yeah.
The Brady look.
One
of those.
And he just told us, some wonderful stories about some Rise of the Old Skywalker and I'm not much of a Star Wars guy, but let me tell you, we did the Millennium Falcon, we did the Rise of the Skywalker, we did this, we did that. It seems like he spent a lot of time down there in the old Star Wars world. But welcome back, Beer Baron. Woo!
Yeah, buddy. I let you go there
course,
because at one time. Sorry, your intros.
You're
still going.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I didn't know. I thought there's room to talk. I didn't know. What are you doing?
All right, that's okay.
Right, go on.
You got plenty of time. You get plenty of time. And then up this side. There we go, right there. Above me. And above Beer Baron. That's right. We're down below. Down in the depths of hell with the devils.
King of the castle.
We have the man who was lucky enough to hold down a Prudential Center chili dog yesterday and not, need a pair of oops, I crapped my pants. The old diapers from Saturday Night Live back in the day. He held the chili dog down, and he held down between the pipes. A nice little game going on there at the Prudential Center. Go see superstar pictures with the shorts guy standing in between Colin White and Ken Danico. That's right. Give him some love. He's not only the E-Bug, he's the starting goaltender here on the Let's Go Devils podcast. Shorts guy, yeah!
Yeah, buddy.
That was a ton of fun last night.
I have a ton of questions for you, too, about all that.
Yeah.
By the way, I think my gummy just kicked in like 2 minutes before we started the show. So you guys get extra long intros there. And I'm Scotty. Hey, how you doing?
And from Liquid Metal and Sirius XM.
Sam Wu is somewhere. We don't know where he is. He's probably
He's a ghost.
Yeah. He admitted the other day on Devils After Dark that he wasn't listening when Mrs. Wu was talking at one point. And so, that didn't go over too well.
It's never good.
Never good. But if everyone doesn't know, our man Shorts guy here was on the ice last night with some Devils legends. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, it was it was through this league called Celebrity Shinny Hockey. They do stuff all in like
Celebrity. Oh
yeah.
I thought Sam Wu was getting the sweet section tickets. I think that's gonna be you now, sir.
It's they do it in a bunch of other arenas, and I just wanted to sign up for this one to see what it was like. Went into it really not sure what was going on. Originally was told I was on Colin White's team. I get there, I get my jersey, it's red, and I'm on Ken Danico's team. So Ken Danico is my captain. Cool. So I had a Stanley Cup champion as a defenseman. That's the first time that's ever happened.
You hear that, Billy Dean?
That was it was. I'll get to that a little bit later, but this was actually the second time I've been on the rink there, and I've played a game. The first one was inline hockey. This time I played ice hockey, and it was just it was so cool to be there in the pipes, between the pipes. I was on what would be the visitor end, so where Markstrom is in net during the second period, and just being able to just like I just took it all in, like looking up at the scoreboard and looking at all that kind of stuff. It was a good time.
Did they have any replays? Were they showing any replays of like
No.
Or did they
No,
have
they
live
just-
video up on the scoreboard or anything?
Nope, no video. Just the We Are Jersey graphic or whatever it is. They had the clock going. They had score. That was about it that they had on the scoreboard.
All right. What was your
It
line?
still
Come on.
all
What was your
lit up.
line in the game?
Oh how I did in the game?
Stat line.
Yeah.
Yeah, stat line.
Come on.
Thank you, Wimpy. So if what I do is I count my saves because it helps keep me focused.
Okay.
So I faced 32 shots, made 29 saves, and one of those 29 saves was on Colin White.
Dang.
Wow.
Dude, that's pretty darn impressive, yes, man.
Freaking damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colin White with a wrist shot from the point. I stopped it. I'll admit, I'm sure Colin White can shoot a little bit harder than he did that time around, but I stopped him. Colin White did make a hell of a pass for the third goal at the end of the game, and the kid that shot it got a really good shot. It basically hit the corner blocker side and went in with like a second left. But it was a damn good pass from Colin White. Colin White was coming in on my blocker side, and I'm like, he's gonna shoot, and he passed, and the kid just got the shot just right, hit me right in the corner. It was
two
it was
words
nuts,
never two words never uttered next to the name Colin White. Offensive juggernaut. But last night apparently he was leading the rush like Gretzky against Shorts guy over here. Man,
Oh my
that's
God.
awesome, dude. Congratulations.
One of the coolest things that happened was there was a sequence in front of me where the puck went from my glove side to my blocker side, and I went down, paddled down to make the save, and the puck got passed back out to my glove side, so back to my left, and I saw the puck going right to left, and I'm like, well, here's an opportunity for this. Let me give this a shot, and I threw up the old 2-pad stack.
Nice.
Wow. And I just threw the legs out for the 2-pad stack, made the save, and I hear Danica on the bench going, "Oh, just like Marty," something like that. And he said something to that effect. And it was
that's awesome.
It was a ton of fun. It was good. Like, I don't know. I had a blast. 45 minutes on the ice, on the Prudential Center ice. It was just so much fun. I would do it again next year if I could. So I'm going to be on the lookout for it. And we got a bunch of pictures. We got some videos, so we'll be posting that stuff on the social media in the coming days once we do some editing to it. But Sam caught one of my breakaway saves. I'm sure we'll throw that up there. But it was a cool. Trust me. Listen.
Was it
wasn't
Doug Gilmore
Colin
coming to
White.
town for a breakaway on you? Is that what happened?
It was not. However, I will say this. Oh man, Sam just said he's going to cue that one up. There was not a lot. Like, generally, I'm used to not much defense, and last night was really no exception.
Billy Dean, right? Yeah.
But there was one play where there was a shot coming from the point, and Ken Danica was my defender in front of me, and I'm playing this like I'm used to, and Ken Danica just makes the block, and I was like, "Oh, this is freaking great!" Like, I got an NHL defensive blocking shots for me. But yeah, it was definitely a ton of fun. It was well worth everything. It was cool to be like down there, like underneath the stands and the bowels of the arena. Come out we came out through the visitor bench through that walkway. So like you basically, and I'll post this picture, like I said, this week. You walk out there and you're just looking up and you're like, wow, this is what the players get to see. One little neat thing I noticed, because this was immediately after the game last night. I don't know if this was on the Devils home bench as well, because we were on the visitor bench. They had all 4 officials, I almost said mug shots, but head profile shots, and their names on a I guess a piece of paper or some kind of a printout on the bench, which I thought was interesting. So they've got that right. That was one of those little things I noticed. When I was,
so they
when
know
I
who
was
to
out
yell
there
at.
on the bench. I guess
chirp
so.
them, boys, chirp them.
I guess so.
Yeah.
but yeah, it was definitely a really cool experience. So I'm gonna try to do it again next year because it was a ton of fun.
You know what would have been
Very
fun
cool, man.
if like
Congratulations.
you
Thank you.
made a save, you made that 2-pad sack, and all of a sudden like you kind of turn, you go to take a sip of water, and you see Fitzgerald standing up in a dimly lit corner of the stands with a cup of coffee, and he just goes, "Might have found my e-bug, boys," and he just like walks into the.
No, it would have been even better if it was Fitzgerald just standing in a dimly lit corner, and all you just see is like the glowing ember of the end of a
The glow
cigarette,
of it.
just him smoking.
Mm-mm.
There he is. There he is.
There he is, boys. We've been looking high and low. Tell that banker to go scratch, and then he just puts it out. Mary,
It was
go right up that contract. Yeah.
it was so much fun. So I definitely want to do it again next year. Apparently Sam has one of those saves queued up. So we'll see that at some point. But it was a good follow up to that Devil Ranger game, man. It was just a great way to end that great day. It was a great way to
Yeah,
end
awesome
the
day.
night of a great day.
Yeah.
If I can say
Very
that correctly.
Very cool. Yeah, very, very cool. Like, what an amazing experience. If you get to do it next year, maybe we can all go out there and
Yeah.
see if we can convince them to do like a live broadcast from
Yeah.
the actual game.
Sam and I had kind of talked about it, but the itinerary for the game came out at like 4:00 Friday afternoon.
Mm.
So it was hard to do that. It's hard to get anything like that, but thanks to Brooke Amanda for hanging out and taking pictures, and Sammy was there also, getting some pictures and some video too. So there is evidence that I have a victory on the Prudential Center ice. So I am I am now 1-1 playing at the Prudential Center at this point in my life.
Excellent.
I am now 1-1.
And that's more than a lot of people can say, that's for sure.
And I have at least one save on Colin White on that ice, which I think is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Next time you play him, I dare you to just be like, dude, just uncork one. Just like absolutely uncork one.
I would love I would have loved that, but what did they explicitly said no slap shots, like from anyone.
Oh,
so
really?
It was all wrist shots and stuff like that. Yeah. So it explicitly in the rules.
Safety issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
safety issues. But yeah, you could definitely tell like Danico and Colin White were out there, but they had much more that they could have given in that effort because you could tell their skill was just far and beyond everyone else's there.
Isn't that wild too to think about? Like, because these guys haven't played. I mean, they play in charity events like this, but Dano's been retired since 2003. Colin White's been retired since what, 2006, around that area. We'll give or take whenever. No, he was on the 12 team, wasn't he? I don't know. Somebody researched that. But anyways, either way, they've been retired for quite some time, and the fact that you could still see that their talent stands above most people that go out there. And I'm pretty sure, like, there's guys that were out there on the ice that, were played collegiately, or at least,
yeah, there was definitely a small handful of guys that were there were a couple girls out there too as well, but there are definitely a couple guys out there that definitely had played at the collegiate level too.
Well, boys, I want to transition into yesterday's game.
You are the king of transitions, by the way.
I love
segues of gold.
Segues
of gold.
I should have a golden segue, and then like we just have a little clip, and it's just me going across the screen.
All right, Paul Blart.
Exactly. Waving at everybody excitedly. Guess what? We're segueing. Guess what's happening right now, boys? We're going to go into a different direction.
And now you're Harry Carey.
Before you get on your golden segue there, I just posted in our Instagram story a picture of me, Ken Danico, and Colin White for everyone to see since we're talking about it. So if you're listening to this on your drive tomorrow, check it out when you get to work. I just posted that there. The three of us on and it's in the Instagram story. So check it out.
So you saying that when you're playing in the same spot that Markstrom was playing in yesterday for at least one period when Markstrom was playing, when you're playing and it's you get this, like you said, this overwhelming like sense of just being in the building and just like how amazing that is. It must have been, like you said, it was a great day. It must have been an extra buzz in the air with all the fans there. I'd imagine they're all Devil fans, or were there mixed spattering of other fans?
As far as I know, they were all Devils fans because it was sold as a Devils experience, or the experiences to play with Colin White and Ken Danico. A lot of people came wearing their jerseys from the game, so yeah, it was all Devils fans as far as I could tell.
So the buzz is in the air. Everybody's feeling great. The Devils look good, beating down the New York Rangers once again. And here's a fun fact. Markstrom, with his second shutout against the Rangers, means that the Rangers have not scored a goal in the Prudential Center this year at all. And as they said on that terrible broadcast last night, because I'm sorry, I can't, and I might get into a little bit of a rant later on about this. I can't with the Devils Rangers on ESPN. I can't. I can not listen. Meyer scores a goal. Oh, that was almost a great save by Shesterkin. But guess what? It wasn't a save. It was a goal, you moron. Anyways, we'll get into that later. But just everybody must have been such a high. Did Danico, coming off of the broadcast, did he talk about it at all? Was he kind of talking about the game a little bit, or?
Well, see, with it being ESPN, so I don't think he was on the broadcast.
Oh, that's right. He wasn't broadcasting
on the radio.
All.
And because I don't come off the ice, I didn't get much.
I'm
time
a moron.
I
just complained about the ESPN broadcast and then went right into well, he must have been. Oh,
and I don't get,
dude.
I don't.
Can we have the little segue? A goal draft guy come across the screen. Right
I think the segue just went backwards. Paul Blart just went after some kids.
You see me go across the screen, it's on fire. Ah! Something's gone terribly wrong. Anyways, but sorry, go on.
I didn't get a chance to talk to Ken Danico much about it because I wasn't on the bench because I never leave the ice as the goaltender. So I never had some time to really kind of talk to him. Just get a couple pictures.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Well, hey, man, it was good. It was a pretty amazing experience, and
it was
the fact that it followed. Because I could imagine, if God forbid the Devils lost that game yesterday, everybody would still be in a good mood and it'd still be a great time. But it would definitely have a little bit of a different feel about it. But the fact that they won, and they won in great style, 4-0. Boys were buzzing yesterday, and I mean, is Markstrom finally getting back to form? Hopefully, it looks like he's almost all the way there, and just in time for a playoff push. I don't know, man. The one thing that I have to say about yesterday's game, because I caught bits and pieces of it, is the fact that you have a penalty kill with Jesper Bratt and Nico Hischier on it. And I mean, when Jack was around, Jack was on it too. But the fact that it's such a weapon, and that shorthanded goal that I'm looking at Scotty, and
I'm waiting for you to. I want to see where this one goes.
I don't know either, dude. I don't know either. It was a good game. Brad had a shorthanded goal. I don't know. What do you want from me, man?
I hate all those broadcasts. So how was Danico going off the broadcast?
Just shut your mouth. Shut your dirty pirate mouth. Anyway, Shorts guy, take over, man. I can't do this anymore.
Oh man.
Well, what I wanted to ask you guys is, hey, where were you when Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal record got broken?
I had stepped away from the television, unfortunately, and heard it from the other side of the house. Because it was intermission, and I stepped away, and I didn't realize it was back. And it was. I missed it, but I got to hear the roar of the crowd sounding like the Caps were at home. And
you should see. Did you watch the highlights? Because it was a Caps. That was a Caps home game.
Yeah. I saw. I saw.
You see the ticket prices for that game?
Absurd.
If I was an Islanders season ticket holder, I would have sold that ticket for $1,000 easily. More. You could
$1,000. They were going for a lot more than that.
I saw someone Someone had posted today that Alexander Ovechkin did something incredible in the NHL. He got a lot of people to watch an Islanders game.
I saw that too. Yeah, I was.
That's true greatness right there.
Yeah, he did something great in the NHL. He got everyone to care about an Islanders game.
Man, I gotta give him credit though, because the other day, he was 3 away. He puts 2 in, and you're like, holy hell, is he gonna get a hat trick for this? And then there was an opportunity at the end of the game, and he was just like, I don't want to break the goal on an empty net.
But it was
so
also
just like, all right, man.
Tons of respect for that. Tons of respect for that.
And
goal plus
today,
that was on
an
icing. That was also on an icing too, so he couldn't go out there for the
whatever. But I'll give him respect for it.
They could have.
He wanted a real
set
goal
it up where he could have jumped on. Yeah. So oddly,
and he
funny
beat
enough,
Sorokin too.
Yeah,
who he had never beaten
before.
before.
Shot.
He had never beaten
never
before.
scored on
with
before.
a wrist shot. With a wrist shot.
Yeah.
And
then
he was
Sorokin,
like top of the circle. It was nasty.
Sorokin gave him his stick after the game too. All I have to say is I love the fact Ovechkin is probably one of my favorite non-Devil players of all time. Like, the dude is just, people forget he's an absolute wrecking ball out there too. Like, he is a monster. And I've always loved his game. Like, I've always liked Ovechkin. Of just, he's just an absolute beast, but he's also super classy. If you watch what he did when they played the Wild the other night, at the end of the game, the Capitals were coming off the ice,
the game.
and he respects the game, and he went out there and he made sure the entire team came out and shook Fleury's hand, a final send off. He's an awesome. He's not, by what we could see, who knows what behind the doors. He's an awesome human being. I'm happy that he broke it. I actually watched him tie the record on a bus heading back to my resort. Jammed in next to people like a sardine on my phone. My daughter standing next to me, explaining to her what we're watching. I'm like, oh, if he gets it, we might watch history.
Please
tonight.
keep your arms and legs inside the tram car, please.
Yes, exactly. And then today I was writing a paper when he broke it, and I missed it by a minute, so I had to watch a stupid replay.
So speaking of him being a good human being, I was talking to a friend of mine who's in DC often, and he said he's never heard anyone around town say anything bad about the guy, and he's so well loved in the city of DC that it seems to be that he is a pretty solid person, from what I've heard anecdotally. So my hope is that's truly the case. But the best part is he gets his goal today, and he's just like slamming beers.
100%.
Slamming beers.
He's
and
100%
Subway and Cheetos.
Yeah,
that he likes to eat every day. I mean, dude was he's probably he's going to be over 900 if he comes back. So,
he's coming.
Yeah. Well, what is it? 895 now? He's at 895 now.
Put up 40. What's he at? 42 goals on the season. Like, how the hell is he scoring this much?
If he plays, if he plays for another 2-3 years, he could possibly reach 1,000. There's a decent chance if he plays for 3 more seasons, he can reach 1,000 goals, which is absolutely nuts.
He could, and you know what the crazy thing too. The stat, like him and Wayne have played the exact Wayne. Like I'm saying, like a first name basis over here. When him and Wayne Gretzky, Wayne,
Wayner, Wayne,
Wayne, Wayner, Wayner's coming by later. They played the exact same amount of games. The exact same amount.
Well, he tied the record. He tied the record with one less game. He broke the record with the same games played. And you know what's here comes the golden segue. Is this chase bad for the team? Because I was thinking about this with all the hoopla that's going around, like all the celebrating.
Get it over with now.
Do you think
they got it over with like 5 games left?
But do you think this is going to maybe kind of take some of the wind out of their sails going into the playoffs? Or am I thinking
No.
optimistically as a Devils fan?
No, because now they're like, let's win it. Let's win it for Ovi. So no, this is actually worse. If he didn't break it in the regular season, and everyone was like, oh well, you didn't do it, then everybody would probably all get into his head. But now, oh, we broke the record. Let's win the cup. That's bad news.
I don't know. I think there could be a grain of truth to that, because there's that emotional letdown from all of this that I'm sure was a big thing throughout the season. So the possibility lies out there that it could be a letdown, but the possibility also lies out there, Scotty, that they could say, let's do this job from start to finish and get him a cup as well in the same season. So both of those possibilities are there. It's just a matter of what the coaching staff's got to be smart and to make sure that they reel these guys in. Let them have fun tonight. They don't play again until Thursday, so I guarantee they're slamming Coors Lights with a bunch of Depp hair gel wearing buffoons on Long Island right now. But they'll go back to work on Tuesday, and at that point, it's these guys are professionals, so they will hopefully put it behind them. But then again, as a Devils fan, as an opposing fan, I wouldn't mind it if maybe they have a little bit of a hangover, maybe physically, maybe mentally from all of this, going into that first round. Maybe that's an upset. You don't know, but it's
I feel like there are too many veterans. I feel like there's just too many veterans on that team. It's like, if it was a younger team, maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah. And he is definitely a focused individual. Like this team is going to be hard to beat in the playoffs. I honestly, and depending on how the seeding works out and how everything kind of like plays out, I wouldn't be, and I'm being realistic right now, I wouldn't be shocked if there's a way it works out. I don't know if there is, because I have to look at it. Capitals and Panthers Eastern Conference Finals, which would be, listen, as much as I want the Devils to make it to the Stanley Cup and win the Stanley Cup, if I can't get anything, if I can get at least like a solid run of playoffs, that's all I could ask for. And the Caps are they're on a different level this year. He's on a different level this year.
As of right now, according to the spreadsheet, courtesy of our good friend Max, Washington is matching up with Montreal as of right now, if we're to end today. And curiously enough, if it were to end today, you would have a battle for Florida for a first round matchup. I think that
Tampa and Florida,
wild.
Huh?
Tampa and Florida.
I love that. I love that.
And then you would also be having you'd have Toronto versus Ottawa in the first round. I kind of like that.
Which would be interesting.
I kind of like that whole first round setup with the way it is right now. If not much changes.
And Devils Canes is a nice setup too. As much as I hate that setup, because I don't want to see the Canes, because they seem to have our number, especially in the playoffs. But
hey, numbers got to end at some point.
I know. I just, what sucks is like I hate the fact that Jack is out. I hate it so much. Like I think about that, where I'm like, if they go into like a decent run, I know there's absolutely 0.0% chance of him coming back, because he's not going to be ready until training camp. But just imagine like them Game 7 Stanley Cup Finals, and they roll out Bionic Jack with his broken arm, and he scores a goal, crashes into the boards, and they like cart him off, and he's like giving a thumbs up with his broken arm, and they win the cup. They like bring him back out in a gurney, and they're like placing him with the cup in one hand. They do this to Cora where they put the jersey on backwards.
Watch. There's a Game 7 situation, and someone like Palat or Haller scores the goal. Like players that people have just like crapped on all year. It just like comes through in the clutch.
I mean, Palat has been okay this year. He's had a decent year this year compared. I mean, not to what he's making, and you hope that he wakes up in the playoffs and becomes playoff Palat. Eric Hawley, yeah. Timo March Madness Meyer, though, dude, somebody should just like set his calendar to when it's October, just be like, dude, it's March. And then when it comes to November, dude, it's March. It's everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Like, St. Patty's Day, like it's like Groundhog's Day for him.
Lousy smarch weather.
Yeah. Nico, I'm having the weirdest dream. Every day is March. That's my team.
It is March, bro.
You like that? Oh, good. Time to go score some goals.
And you know what? And you know what? Just like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, Billy Dean tried to sandbag me with a question if our fan base is accepting that the Timo Meier contract was bad. Then Timo Meier goes on to not only score 2 goals that night, but scored 2 goals yesterday against Billy Dean's beloved New York Rangers. So
there you go.
I'm gonna have to stick it to Billy Dean again because I gave a logical answer which he didn't want to accept.
What was your logical answer?
I said because I said yeah, we're paying him to score, but Timo Meier's doing a ton of great stuff off the puck as well, and on all over the rest of the rink. So yeah, we're paying him to score goals, but it's not like he's just sitting there pulling like a Pierre-Luc Dubois and just like whining and crying and doing nothing else. Like he's doing stuff. Like he's doing other stuff that doesn't show up on the score sheet, which is part of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Stephen Engel asked, so what are you thinking about Gritsiuk in the KHL? Because his KHL season is over. His contract doesn't run out until May. So
that's right.
Makes it interesting.
I wonder if there's a buyout.
Yeah. There might be a clause, or there might be kind of, who knows, bro? Like, it wouldn't be bad if they could figure it out and they could get him to this team for the last couple of games and then just be like, I think you might have to throw caution to the wind and just be like, screw it. Like, he's on, if this is even possible, because I don't know. Like, all right, he's on the roster. No AHL stint, just boom. You're ready. Go. You're on wing with whomever you want to be a wing with. And
then I remember that with when Luke came in, there was something where he played at the very end or whatever, and it didn't mess with his, I can't remember if it did or didn't mess with his entry-level contract, but there was something with that as well. So, it would be great if they can pull him in and get him here. And if he's able to kind of fit in with that as well. So Tom's saying we have to pay a KHL team to let go early. I have no idea if that would fall under the cap or if that's a totally separate payment that we would have to do that. But if the price is right and you can get another forward like him, or another player like him, just bring him in.
Well, I mean, we have the the LTIR money, so
yeah. I wonder if that. I wonder if that has to go to that. Ooh, bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, you could get him at league minimum. I mean, I don't know if you're going to want to do that because you don't want to piss this kid off.
If there's a buyout clause, I mean, he's probably going to come in at league minimum anyway. But if there's a buyout clause that they have to pay, I don't know. I don't think that would fall under the cap. But I'm curious if the league would do anything like that because that's like bringing in a brand new player. So there's got to be something there that's there. But it says he's unsigned according to his elite prospects profile here. So, but that would be another right winger coming in. Which would be, yeah, I'll take it.
Here's an interesting question because Ted just said that as of late March, Dougie was skating. So
I heard that the other day, yeah.
So here's the question with that: he was announced that he's out for the year. Does that mean regular season? And does that change? Oh, something happened to Scotty. He's being attacked. If you're listening to this in your car, be warned that Scotty is being attacked. We're watching it live. He's down. He's down. Well, the screen went black. We'll have to update you later.
Just like War of the Worlds.
Oh my God, the humanity! Oh, the humanity! No, that's the Hindenburg.
No, that's the Hindenburg. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm curious if Dougie was ready, do you bring him back or do you let him rehabilitate for as long as he possibly can, including missing the playoffs? Especially this first round. I mean, it's such a crapshoot. First of all, there's no sure thing when it comes to the playoffs, and that goes for any team. But playing Carolina, with our history against Carolina, It's going to be a hell of a series. If who knows what the predictions will be, but if Dougie's somewhat ready, I don't think you rush him back. I think you say like, buddy, just get ready for next year. I don't know if I would bring him back unless I knew 100% I could bring him back without injury.
So here is what is interesting. I'm looking at Puckpedia. Siegenthaler's listed as LTIR and day-to-day. Dougie's listed as out, but week to week. And Jack Hughes is listed as season-ending and LTIR. So if I say depending
Beer
on
Baron
what...
situation before about the playoffs and then bringing Jack, that won't happen.
No, well, yeah, that won't happen.
Yeah, that won't. Okay.
I know.
I
Welcome back. We,
break the bad news.
You were being attacked.
But
go on.
I say if they're able to play, it's the playoffs. It would have to be a decision based on if they get re-injured, what would the worst case scenario be? But if they can go out there and help the team, you know what? These guys are going to want to do it. And if you're getting into if you get through the first round and the second round and you got a Siegenthaler and a Hamilton that are able to come into your lineup, like, why would you not? Like,
I agree.
Why would you not?
I agree. I just think you have to trust the player because you're also bringing them, but you have to also think about this. It's like devil's advocate with this one, right? Because if you're bringing a player like that, no matter how skilled they are and no matter how many games they have under their belt, you're also bringing them into a pressure cooker, right? You're bringing them into a completely different situation than like a regular season game. There is no time to be like, all right, if you have a little, couple bumps in the road, that'll be okay. There is no bump in the road. There is no like learning curve. There is no like get your legs back under you, like your conditioning and blah, blah, blah. It's balls to the wall. You got to be ready to rock and roll because this is the playoffs. And everybody that watches hockey, and by the way, this is a little homework assignment for everybody that has friends out there that don't watch hockey. Grab one of these people. If you can't bring them to a live game, bring them to like a TV where a bunch of your friends are watching. Start bringing more people into watching playoff hockey because playoff hockey, like these people that are like baseball's the best or like basketball is so fun. They both suck in comparison to playoff hockey because nothing in the world compares to playoff hockey. I know Scotty. I can imagine with the marbles rolling around in your head right now. What you're going to about to say?
I just bring them somewhere, a TV area, whatever it is.
Bring them to an old timey radio. Bring them into a room with a rocking chair, an old man, a pipe, and a speaking radio.
Hang on.
Hold those antenna. Left. Damn it. Get the tinfoil. We need more. And by the way, anybody that's ever, I think all three of us have lived through those phases. Get the antenna right. If you don't get it right, it just completely screws up. Also,
I always
get a max.
I always remember watching Married with Children, and the Bundys had channel. They had channel positions. If they were going to watch something on TV, they had to get into a specific channel position. So that made me think of that.
Oh, God. Yeah, the good old days. When you had to get up and actually change your channel.
Yep.
I broke Scotty. I think I broke Scotty.
Yeah, you did.
God. Jack won't be back until October. He's done for the. I know. It sucks. Like going back to that. Like what, as competitive as Jack is in watching the team play, and being happy for your brother, being happy for your teammates, being happy for like the organization. There's still going to be that part of you that's just like, come on, like goddamn, like just angry that you can't get back out there and do something. And
of course, he's a competitor.
It sucks. It absolutely sucks.
but if you think about it too, if you're bringing in a Dougie Hamilton or a Siegenthaler, one, you got to be confident they're going to make an impact. Two, you got to be really confident that they're not going to screw up any kind of chemistry that's going on. But at the end of it, you're only bringing them in for the potential of 14 max games if it's after the second round. 14 max.
Yeah.
And you got guys with fresh legs coming in too. That has a lot to do with it as well.
Yeah.
So it's a gamble.
And it changes your defensive style too a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it definitely brings Siegenthaler back, especially.
It's a decision that the coaching staff will have to contemplate, like, pretty good based on how these guys are working in practice and if they're going to be able to bring that in. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, they're not just going to throw them out there if they don't feel that they can step into that situation. So if they do have time, what did I do this time?
Nothing. I know what I said that broke you. Which makes it even funnier. I guess it was very subtle. I have to go back and listen to that one. If you want to know why what broke Scotty, go back and listen very carefully to our channel selection.
Yes.
Good times. Good times. Well, I think we're down to like 2 games now. Here comes the golden segue. It makes that sound now. That's the sound it makes. Down to the golden number is 2. Speaking of gold, the golden number is 2. And I know people were talking about it before, but the Montreal Nashville game, which is interesting because there's implications of like the playoff race that's going on. Let's say and the final is Canadiens 2, Nashville Predators 1. Talk about a crap season for a team that basically they were like, free agent? What? We'll just throw money at everybody. Yeah. Steven Stamkos, come on. And everything.
But on the other side of that, man, the freaking if they won again, like
they won again.
What's
the Canadiens
are out of nowhere.
You know what? I'll tell you what. That is a sneaky team. That is going to be one of those sneaky teams. I know somebody was saying before, like, what's one of those?
They're
top seeds?
Won 5 in a row. 5 in a row.
They're the team that's a team you do not want to play. You do not want to play a team like that. Because didn't they do that when they made it to the Cup final in the COVID year? Weren't they they were just out of nowhere really good?
Yeah, and they made it to the Stanley Cup finals.
Really hot,
like weird.
Yeah.
And they lost to Tampa.
They were like the Cinderella team. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I am watching Max update his spreadsheet like in real time. This is pretty wild. Max is up there doing that. But yeah, Montreal out of nowhere.
Max
out of nowhere. They've kind of pulled away here. They're 6 points up on the Rangers right now.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to get to. Is
the Rangers, the Red Wings. Yeah, the Rangers, the Red Wings, the Icelanders, and the Blue Jackets all have 1 game in hand at 76. The Rangers are the closest at 79. Red Wings are 79 as well. Icelanders 78, and then the Blue Jackets 77. Man, Montreal has really kind of separated themselves there. 5 games. How are they?
Very sneaky.
Yeah.
Completely out of nowhere, where it was just because they were always hovering around like the 4 or 5 position. But correct me if I'm wrong. This is like the first time that they've shot up like this, like into the right, like actually like really holding a position for a couple
doldrums of the.
Yeah, they were down low. I would love to see what they were at in January, where they were at, because I'm pretty sure they were down low.
They just were not that good earlier in the year. Because, I mean, they were even looking at being sellers at the deadline and everything. So,
dude, every time we played them this year, it was like one of those games where you're like, oh, cool, man. We get to play Montreal. We're going to dominate them. And we did.
They're getting hot at the right time.
6-point
lead, though, on the Rangers. I mean, the Rangers, I can't remember who was Was it PK that was like the Rangers are looking like they're ready to play golf? Is he the one who said that? Oh man, too funny. Go PK. Yeah, they did not look good in that game. It just didn't look like they had that extra needed, push to in this sort of playoff time over here. So, but Montreal, man, the team that surprised me though was Columbus. I thought Ottawa I could see being good because they have a young core and they're kind of coming together a little bit, and they got Olmark up there who's playing like it was 10 years ago in Boston. So there you go.
Well, hey, the thing about I want to say about Columbus is it's really tragic what happened over the summer with Johnny Gaudreau, because you look at the team, the way the team is made up, for a fact that if Gaudreau was a part of this team this year, they would be in a playoff spot. I just feel like with his offensive prowess and like just his leadership and everything that he brought to that team, I think that they would be more of a threat towards the end here. And maybe they were riding the emotion of his loss for a long time, and that was what was pushing them to be a little bit better. Maybe their numbers are a little bit better because of that. But you kind of feel bad for Columbus in the sense of like everything that they would have went through, or everything that they went through this year, to see them make the playoffs would have been like it would have been nice. So at one point when they were like right behind the Devils, I was like, I don't want them to overtake the Devils, but it would be nice to see this team like make it in. It would be nice for the team, for the city, for the Gaudreau family, and for everybody involved.
Funny thing here that I see on the old YouTube chat, we're forgetting Ottawa is coached by one Travis Green.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we were very, very happy to see him skedaddle, afterwards and sign. It was like, oh, okay. And got to go Travis. Good for him.
But
he's got that team working.
He didn't have a fair shake behind the bench with the Devils, because it was more of you were on a boat that was already half underwater, and you were given a ladle, and you're like, all right, get us out of this situation, or don't. Who cares? You're out of here anyway. So you know what I mean? Like that's what it felt like. It was like it wasn't like they made huge moves at the deadline. They're like, Travis, we retooled the whole team for you. Like we know you can do it. It was like, here's some duct tape. Go put that on the wing, and hopefully we'll land this son of a bitch somewhere. Just Travis, just don't kill anybody. It was like an uncle. Yeah, it was like an uncle being put in charge of like their nephews and nieces at Thanksgiving. Like, just don't let anybody choke or die. All right, just let everybody be happy. Throw a football around for 5 minutes and don't curse, and don't show anybody your YouTubes. Nobody cares.
So
Travis,
come find me at halftime.
I got some information courtesy of Max here. Listen to this. Listen to this lineup of teams, and I'll tell you what they have in common: Boston, Pittsburgh, Columbus, Philadelphia. All of those teams were ahead of Montreal January 1. Montreal was 12th in the Eastern Conference.
Good
Montreal
for them, man.
12th. The only teams below Montreal were the Islanders, Detroit, the Rangers, and Buffalo.
Wow.
Yeah.
And woo! I see Nintendo Wii just sent us a super chat.
Woo!
That's pretty crazy stat. And actually, he makes a good point here.
I've been calling him Nate the whole time. I've been calling her Crabapple the whole time. That's how I just felt. I was about to be like, thanks, Nate. Crandall?
Crandall.
Calling him Nate the whole damn time.
I've been calling him Nate the whole time. Why didn't anybody tell me? I feel like an idiot.
I know many Devil fans, myself included, expressed some concern and frustrations with coaching as well. And right now, it seems like Sheldon Keefe has got this team, turned in the right direction. Even missing, a couple of their rather big pieces to the pie. He's got them turned in the right direction and playing really well down the stretch here. So, yeah, I got to agree and give him a little bit of credit because I know we were talking about it. Some of these post games, like, what's going on? Why does this team not look prepared? Has the team tuned them out? Because, boy, they went on a rough stretch.
They did.
But
and
he's
with
kind
all
of got
hope
it
they
through
learned.
it. Yeah, and he's got it through it. He's got Timo now scoring. Nico Hischier is having a career year. He's up to 35 goals.
Yeah.
We could talk about we were talking about it yesterday. I mean, that goal, the first goal, the power play goal? Yeah, was a direct result of Nico Hischier winning a faceoff against the league's best faceoff man, Vincent Trocheck, for the Rangers. Nico won it. It went right back to Luke. And, I think Nico is number 3 in the league. We were talking about that was like the unsung battle of the day. Those two like facing off against each other all day long. And, Nico came, he came out on top there. Right back to Luke, over to Timo in the back of the net. 4 seconds on that power play.
Such a fast power play. It was such a fast power play goal. Loved it.
But that's also a result of Timo being on power play 1, too, which is something that we talked about earlier in the year. Let me just tell you this. Like, one of the things that I love about this team is the resiliency of, like, you as big time players and it didn't phase them. And you have guys that needed to step up that have absolutely stepped up. There are guys that still need to step up. And during that losing period, like, you're looking towards Nico Hischier, which, by the way, anybody that trashes him or whatever as a captain, you can just suck it.
Cram
it with walnuts. I think Nico is the perfect captain for this team. And I'm kind of curious, and I don't know what to think about it because I saw it brought up on social media. Somebody was saying, do you think that Sheldon Keefe it's easier to coach this team without Jack? Like, do you think that Jack brings an extra pressure or an added pressure to this team because he's a quote unquote superstar and you need to be able to, I don't know. And I'm not saying, I don't know how to word this without, do you think that Sheldon Keefe had to placate to Jack Hughes or do you think that Jack Hughes getting hurt allowed other players to have more opportunity? I don't know how to put this. Do you think Jack Hughes'
of course there's going to be
was beneficial?
It's beneficial in some ways, but like the real catalyst of everything, has really been Luke Hughes moving into Dougie Hamilton's role. That's really been the catalyst for everything. Luke has been leading the way. He's out there on power play 1. He's bringing the puck up the ice. He's finally starting to fake the drop pass and just zoom right into the zone. He's getting opportunities left and right. And the way he is seeing the ice right now is just, for a 21-year-old kid, like, man, he is going to, I don't know. I just see him being a superstar as well. And just on the defensive side. But I feel like he's going to be a superstar. He's going to be a Norris Trophy winner at some point. But like his read of the game, his speed, everything, I feel like Luke has been the one that's really been driving this team. Nico as well and Jesper Bratt, of course, but I feel like it's been Luke's emergence since Jack has went down that has really been the biggest dynamic change. And of course, Jacob Markstrom coming back.
Yeah, and finally getting back to form.
I think you see that, Scotty, evident in the Winnipeg game versus the Wild game in that Friday-Saturday set. Luke was not in the Winnipeg game, and we looked terrible. We looked terrible. Luke is in that Wild game. The team is completely different. And that was, the big difference between those two games is Luke and not. And I think you're absolutely correct. And a small example, microcosm of that is those two games, the Devils without and the Devils with Luke. It was evident.
Yeah.
Wildly evident.
Yeah. Luke.
I pushed the panic button after that Winnipeg game. I was just like, this is going to be bad. This is going to be bad. And then
they
right at the ship.
shoved it right in your face hole. And
right. With walnuts, apparently.
Right in the old pie hole.
In there. Right in the old pie hole, you slack-jawed yokel. Anyway, so
like Cletus?
Hey Mo, get off the dang roof.
If I was Jean-Claude Van Damme, I could squash a walnut with my butt.
Yes, exactly.
Remember when he did that?
Yes.
I could crack a walnut with my ass.
One of the things I love about watching Luke Hughes mature as a defenseman and as an NHL player is he does it without. I mean, you got actually both Jack and Luke have the same kind of like fanfare where they're not like Jack is a superstar, but he doesn't have that flash and dazzle. You know, like some superstars do. Like that's my big giant persona. They kind of do it like a little bit quieter, or at least Luke does. And you know, I think that. Seamus Casey, I don't know what you're laughing about now. You son of a bitch. I don't know what you're Skinamax. Anyway, so here comes a golden segue. Fully on fire. I like in the small sample size that we've gotten from Seamus Casey this year, I feel like he is following that same suit that Luke Hughes has that same mold that Luke Hughes has made. And
he's got some swagger. I'll say that.
He's got swagger, but I mean like what I want to see is I want to see Seamus Casey continue to get these opportunities because that pass, by the way, that he had to Timo was unbelievable.
And he kept it in the zone too. He kept it in the zone at the blue line. I mean, that's what set that whole play up was him keeping it in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you,
standing, and he was protecting the goaltender.
Mm-hmm. Seamus Casey might be Luke Hughes and Seamus
Niedermeyer.
Down.
Wow,
Luke Niedermeyer. That's high praise. He's got a ways to go until he's in that.
Kind of who he's starting to look like, though, with those poke checks as well. I mean, that's the thing is his defensive game is getting better also, you know, and with his speed, I mean, like you're just like, oh, there's no one back. And all of a sudden, it's just like Luke is in the TV picture. All of a sudden you're like, where the hell did he come from? Yeah. You know, like he's like, I don't know. He's just like a step faster than everybody out there for most of the time. So when they play the Oilers, but you know,
I wonder if his game took the jump that it did this year on his own, or if that's because he was been with Pesci almost the entire season. That definitely can't hurt. You know what I mean? Like playing with somebody like Pesci, that definitely can't hurt. But I'm curious. To see that.
Luke, there it is. Oh, Wimpy, please. Oh no,
I like it. I like it.
Luke, there it is.
Let's bring it way back to the 90s, early 90s.
There it is.
Oh, you finally got it?
No, I've known it the whole time. I just
recognize
it. Just recognizing it now.
You know what? I had an even better idea. It's not even you on a golden segue. It's the golden version of Johnny Five from Short Circuit running, going across the screen.
Johnny Five alive! Oh!
Like some smoke coming out of him in the back, you know?
Yeah. Why do I feel feelings? Whoa! A scrambled version, right, Scotty? Of our podcast. Just scrambling. I think I see Scotty's eyebrow. Or it could be just nipple. You never know.
We just lost the 35 to 18-year-old range in our podcast right now. We lost that demographic.
I don't know. 35 might understand what you're talking about.
Whoop! There it is. Short Circuit. Married with children. We're
Skinamax. You know, all sorts of stuff.
Scrambled Skinamax.
Yep. We just lost a whole younger demographic group with all these.
I can't wait for the
references
Reddit. The Reddit nerds to get on this one. Can you believe they just won a game and they didn't even talk about the game or the stats? They just talked about Skinamax. These guys don't know anything about hockey.
Oh man. Well, we should probably wrap this bad boy up, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Go clean your brace.
I see we've gone a little over. Well, we were a little late starting, so I think actually we just about evened out here. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
just about an hour.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who's counting anyways? Can't say God.
Who's counting anyways? So my final thought for the night is, we've talked a lot about Jacob Markstrom, Luke Hughes, Nico Hischier, and I know we have mentioned Jesper Bratt a lot, but that was such a killer stat that they threw up at the end of the game yesterday. And I've always known him to be a little bit physical when it has to, and it always surprises you because you're like Jesper Bratt. But man, that dude he's got some hips and some quads, and he can throw those hips in there. Jesper Bratt is the only 80-80? He's going to be 90-90 soon. Player points hits on the year. Jesper Bratt, 88 points, 89 points.
How about that?
And 93 hits on the season. So the brutalizer. Just want to throw a little notice out there for Jesper Bratt that not only is he setting up these beautiful plays, but you don't see that often from a finesse guy that's going to be more offensive minded. Go in there and get into some more of those physical battles along the boards. But he goes and does that. So just want to throw a little respect out there on JB's name.
Throw some respect on his name. So I just want to segue off of Scott's comments of Jesper Bratt's thighs and Jesper Bratt's thighs. You try saying that 10 times. Jesper Bratt's thighs. That's the tongue twister for all you people out there.
Okay.
I know. I see a lot of people saying like I didn't go on a rant about ESPN. I might save that rant for another day. We're in too good of a mood right now. I'm not really in a ranting type of mood. I will say this. It makes you appreciate your local broadcasting team whenever you watch a nationally broadcasted game. Not to take away from anybody or anything or what they're doing on TV, and they're doing a wonderful job. Sure, whatever, blah blah blah, play blah 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 blah. But I will say this:
I know what's coming next. but
oh wait, there's more.
But wait, no, what drives me absolutely nuts. And if anybody remembers, a couple years ago, Devils Rangers playoff series. It was a Rangers love fest the entire time. Even when we won, it was still they find ways to just suck up to the Rangers. I'll put it in that direction. It's annoying. I find it extremely annoying. I hate biased broadcasters. I hate when you watch any sports if it's a nationally broadcasted game and it's constantly one-sided. Maybe it's biased ears that I'm hearing this with. Maybe it is. Maybe it's just I dislike hearing compliments of a team that I hate. Maybe that's what it is. But we'll save the actual full-on rant for another day. For now, we'll just say good night and God bless. Sure, Scotty.
Oh. I'm sure McDonough. I'm sure on an empty net chance, McDonough would say, "Oh, Shesterkin almost had that from the bench, but the Devils scored."
I think he did.
Two-part final thought. One, got a great compliment yesterday from, of all people, a Ranger fan.
Oh,
who said he listens to our podcasts and he enjoys the fact that we're very realistic and open and able to kind of think critically about our own team, which I thought was a really good comment. That was from, and I wish I got his name. If you're listening, I never got your name, but definitely reach out to us because that was a huge compliment. So thank you for that. I thought that was cool coming from a Ranger fan. And two, I'll end with this. I'm now the only person in this podcast family that has made a save on an NHL player. So yeah. And
Oh no, I saved an NHL player.
That's it. That's it.
All
for
right.
Me.
Well, it's been a fantastical edition once again. Season 8, episode number 24, the old Let's Go Devils podcast. We got a game coming up on Tuesday against the Boston Bruins, so be on the lookout for some game day live with Shorts Guy and Vinny Parisi, Devils After Dark with myself and the King of the Football Calls, Sam By God Woo, and Beer Baron will be on the group chat. Asking, hey, what's the score? Hey, what's the score? Hey,
I'll actually be at the game. I will be.
He's going to be at the game. Well, look at that. All right. So get your selfie with Beer Baron at the game. He'll be in section.
Nope, don't actually bother me. I don't want to talk to anybody. No, I'm kidding.
I'm kidding. I'll sign all the autographs you got.
I'll sign anything. I'll sign your baby. You want me to sign your baby? I'll sign your baby.
Someone yesterday.
He will do Harry Carey and Christopher Walken for you if you ask.
Exactly.
Someone yesterday was sort of joking and asked if I would sign somebody's nipple, and I said yes. Do you have a pen? I said yes to that, but no one had a pen, so couldn't do it.
No.
Next time, make sure someone is a female. When they say someone, all right, they're not some girl. See, they say someone. You know which way this is going over here. I'm just letting you know.
It was actually
just
Sam
saying.
It was Sam Woo. You're Sam Woo, you have pierced nipples, Sam Woo? I never would have thought that. What do you know?
With the little chain that connects the two, and you give it a little tug every once in a while. Every time I get a little too excited, I go, "Cook, cook, 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 cook," and I give myself a little whoo. It brings me down to earth. That's my impersonation of Sam Woo.
Well, this has been an instant classic over here. And we thank you all. Oh, and Shorts Guy will be back tomorrow to tell Billy Dean, how he should be playing defense on our pod.
Yep.
That's the old hockey on tap.
We're waiting for the music, but Sam must have fallen asleep.
I think Sam fell asleep. Yeah, we've been. Where's the segue coming by?
It's not even me on it anymore. It's just like my one shoe just dangling off by by the shoelace, and the segue just kind of smashing into things. You hear somebody screaming,
dragging behind.
Yeah,
it's got one lace is wrapped around somewhere.
You guys got to read the group text.
We gotta.
Oh yeah, you have to read. I know reading's hard.
End it. Turn off your computers.
Yeah,
let's go.
Oh, there we go. I was on the wrong one.